Now this one's kind of tough because there's a lot of things that's missing here. We'll just stick to this list because this is the one they composed. First things first, with Sue Bird, her is the only female on this list from the WNBA will also insinuate that she was the best floor general ever out of all of the women in the WNBA. That can very much be argued. So that's kind of tough. That's kind of tough. But we'll stick with her because she's here. Very good floor general. I'll give her a good solid 8. I would give her a solid 8. LeBron James. LeBron James, on and off, to me, appears as a floor general. I don't always give him a 100% floor general. There's a couple other people on this list who unequivocally are fucking floor generals. I wouldn't necessarily say LeBron because in that regard, I would have to say that that person is, as a floor general, is in control of the entire floor and directing and captain or what have you. I don't always see that, especially if I'm adding tenacity, which is a real thing in terms of being a floor general. So if I'm adding tenacity, I would give LeBron on about a 7, 7.5, 7.7 in terms of being a floor general. So Magic Johnson, off top, I would say being a floor general is an excellent floor general. I can't say that the tenacity part, but then again, I can't say he does not have it. So I would give Magic in terms of floor general. I would say Magic are easily about an 8.8, 8.9. Very west. Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson in his prime was probably what you would call a quintessential point guard. He was very much a floor general and a baller, old school New York baller. He was definitely, if I'm ranking him at his top, even Magic would say he was high. He would rank him very close to what competitive in terms of him. I would say Mark Jackson was a good 8.8, 8.9 in terms of being a floor general. Jason Kidd was a very good floor general. He probably he averaged damn near triple doubles almost more than any point guard in NBA history. So at his time. So Jason Kidd is a very good floor general because he was so much of a scorer too, though it also takes away to me in terms of because the floor generals, I don't know, it's just the way I see it. But I would say Jason Kidd in terms of being a floor general was about I would say a good solid 8.3, 8.4. He was a very good floor general. Steve Nash was a very good floor general. I would say he was closer to about 8.8, 8.9. He had a very good shot too. You got to appreciate that. He was a very good floor general. These two lined up and matched up real good in terms of playing against each other. If you wanted to see a game of point guards, this was very good. Tony Parker was a very good floor general. I would give Tony Parker, if I was ranking him on a 1 to 10 scale being a floor general, I would say he's a solid 8.5, between 8.5, I say 8.3, roughly, give in the middle. I say he's about an 8.3. He's a very good point guard, nothing against him. He's French, man. He's magnifique, whatever. So, Chris Paul, great point guard, great point guard. Floor general, absolutely. I would give him. There is something quite little missing from me giving him a perfect score, but I would say he's very close. I would say Chris Paul is roughly at about an 8 something, close 8, 8, 8, 8. He was very good for his era. His general still is 8, 8. Oscar Robertson. This is where it gets tricky. Oscar Robertson, in terms of being a floor general, most of you never seen him play, but I'm glad they put him on the list because it would have been an atrocity not to. Oscar Robertson, in terms of being a floor general, if you are aware of basketball, you're a real basketball fan, then I would say Oscar Robertson deserves probably about a 9. He's up there. Oscar Robertson definitely about a 9. Rondo on the scale, he's a very good floor general. There are some things I do not see that makes him as competitive as Oscar Robertson or Steve Nash or John Stockton, even Zeek, even Mark Jackson and Magic either. So, but I would say he's about an 8.1, 8.2. John Stockton, in terms of being a floor general, is also another one, would be a quintessential point guard. Like in terms of, if you had to see it to believe, pick and roll assists, fundamentally sound. In fact, I would say John Stockton might have been the most fundamentally basketball sound person on this list. Very close to Mark Jackson, Isaiah Thomas, and Oscar Robertson. But those four are probably the most fundamentally sound point guards or floor generals you have on this list. John Stockton, in terms of being a floor general, I would say he is roughly about, I would give him a 9.2. I would give him a 9.2, maybe 9.5. No, I shit you not. That's not being funny. He was actually floor general. The only person on this list who is equally, I would say, floor general, or maybe even higher than John Stockton, is Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas, he should the NBA should have statues of him put up. Like, he should be well regarded by the NBA. The best floor general on this list is Isaiah Thomas. John Stockton is a close second. You can even argue Oscar Robertson, maybe 9.8 out of 10.